Let's begin in Washington. New this morning, President Donald Trump is expected to nominate Todd Blanche as U.S. Attorney General, removing that acting tag. Trump's former personal lawyer has been in that role since his predecessor, Pam Bondi, was fired nearly 2 months ago. In that time, the president had suggested that the job was his to lose, but his confirmation could face a pretty tough road in the Senate. NewsNation Washington correspondent Trevor Shirley is at the White House for us this morning. Trevor, the writing was kind of on the wall for this. This wasn't completely out of the blue.
Markie, good morning. You're right. A lot of people had been expecting this to happen. The move to confirm Blanche was expected. The only question seemingly was when it was going to happen. The president making that announcement last night at a private dinner here at the White House.
Tomorrow, I'm instructing Dan and everybody else that's involved in that very complicated process, which is going to go, I think, very quickly, that we are going to make him permanent Attorney General.
And in the 2 months or so since Blanche took over from Pam Bondi, he's brought a second indictment against former FBI Director James Comey, subpoenaed journalists for their sources, rolled back gun control measures, and also announced initiatives working with the White House's so-called war on fraud. The big question now for the Blanche nomination is still, does he have the votes to make it through a confirmation in the Senate? He was confirmed last year as Deputy Attorney General along a party line vote that was 52 to 46. But things on Capitol Hill have changed. Blowback from within his own party led the administration to pull back on those plans for that nearly $2 billion so-called weaponization fund to pay people that the administration claims were, quote, mistreated by the federal government. Outgoing GOP Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina said that fund would potentially be his red line on any confirmation of Blanche. Markie?
And speaking of change, Trevor, we also saw some Republican House members join Democrats in passing that war powers resolution on Wednesday. You know, you think back to the last few weeks, that was the fourth time that vote had been taken. So what changed there?
Yeah, the past 3 times it's failed, and Markie, simply put, this time there were enough votes there from the GOP to get this through the House, unlike those 3 previous attempts. Yesterday, 4 Republicans joining Democrats. That's important to note, or it is important to note. This does not end the war this morning, but it does show that, at least in Congress, the tide is starting to break against the president when it comes to this Iran military operation. The resolution calls for the U.S. to withdraw unless Congress authorizes a continuation of the fighting. The White House says the president is handling foreign policy and national security, but supporters of this resolution say that's just not enough, that only Congress is able to declare war. One Democratic senator who will not be voting on the act is Pennsylvania's John Fetterman. Here's what he told NewsNation's Chris Cuomo last night.
A single Democrat will agree with Trump with virtually anything because that's very toxic as a Democrat. But things are much bigger than my seat or how I may have angered people in my party. But I refuse to vote for something that would force us away that allows Iran to keep their nuclear materials and go back to building a bomb, which they were.
Now, supporters of the president say this vote serves to weaken the U.S.'s position in Iran. Those who voted for it say it's a line in the sand after more than 4 months of this conflict in the Middle East. Markie?
Yeah, certainly a symbolic win for Democrats and constitutional purists, but we'll see what kind of teeth that really has. Trevor Shirley, live at the White House for us. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.